Hey Wrestling Days, how you doing? First of all, yeah, I just want to say thank you for kind of bringing me back into the world of YouTube. I used to make YouTube videos all the time. I used to love it. This was back when Silver Vision and all that were around. I used to do lots of unboxings, and then the network came along and basically just took all that away from me, and I kind of stopped making videos. So first of all, thank you for inspiring me. You're like the Shawn Michaels of the YouTube community, so that's really cool. A couple of questions I wanted to ask you. Some of them are a little bit obscure, and some of them are quite normal. But yeah, first of all, I believe that me and you are from the same kind of era of wrestling. So, what was your wrestling routine as a child? What do you remember watching? How did you get the stuff to watch? Did you have the channels to watch it on? Did you get your mates to record it? You know, all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, it'd be really cool to know. My next question is, if you could do a series and it was called The 7 Days of Days, what video would you do every day? Mr. Days, if you were a wrestler, what theme music would you choose? Mr. Days, if you could create a wrestler and you could decapitate a part of any wrestler and stitch them all together, who would you create? So you could have Ric Flair's head and Yokozuna's torso and James Ellsworth's arms and so forth. So who would you put together and what would you call them?
Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to another episode of Your Videos. It's good, isn't it? Right, we started with Chudomania there, and first of all, mate, I am so pleased you say that you feel inspired to start YouTubing again. Wicked, love to see what you come out with. You seem like a proper nice bloke, and I loved your video, hence why I started this video with it. So let's get to your questions. How did I watch as a kid? I'm of the opinion we're probably the same era as well. We're talking early 90s, 91, 92, and it was my cousin. My cousin got me into it, and he used to bring videotapes around to my grandparents. And so I used to just watch the videotapes, and I couldn't follow what was going on because obviously it was just random what he was bringing. But yeah, he'd put them in, and you'd have... Great thing then was it was also gimmick heavy, so you had like the criminal and you had the police officer. So I'd cheer on like the criminal probably, and then like they'd have a match. That's all it needs to be. You don't need all this month-long build. Just dress them up, and that man's got a parrot, so I'll support him, with like Coco Beware or something like that. It was just very simple stuff. And then as I got older, I went to Car Boots and got tapes from Car Boots and got renting from Blockbusters and like my local video store, which was like a little independent thing, and so yeah, just used to watch stuff that way. So we didn't have cable, I couldn't watch it at home, I was just a slave to whatever my cousin brought around at the start. But yeah, it was wicked. Right, the 7 Days of Days, I don't like doing that because I like to keep things fresh and interesting. I honestly don't know what videos are going to come this week. I know I will definitely do some figure reviews, but outside of that, what ends up happening is as much a surprise to me as it is to you. So I like to keep it kind of loose, if you will. But I definitely do a toy hunt each week. I would definitely do figure reviews. I would love to do like superstar interviews, like old superstars, people that have retired, and just talk to them about their career. I would absolutely, I think that would be my dream job. If I could have a dream job, I would love to interview old wrestlers, legends, people that have been there and done it, and just listen to them and learn from them and just appreciate what they've been through. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Classic matches and pay-per-views. I'd love to go back and spend a day like reviewing those. High fives. Really enjoy doing those, but they just take quite a bit of time to pull together. Articles, same. Love doing them. They just take quite a bit of time to pull together. I did an article actually on women's tag team wrestling. The WWF, WWE, used to have women tag team championship belts, and I did do a video all about that. Check it out if you haven't already, but I enjoy doing those. And then the final one that I would do would be a weekly roundup, just like NXT, SmackDown, Raw, news, gossip, chuck it all into one video at the end of the week on a Sunday, something like that. So yeah, if I had to structure my week, I think that's how I would do it. Wrestler, theme music. Interesting question, this one. If I was a wrestler, what theme music would I have? There was a track by Damian Marley, right, who is Bob Marley's son, and it was on the album Welcome to Jamrock, and it's the first track on there. It's called Confrontation, and I swear I am not making this up. I swear I'm not making this up. When Welcome to Jamrock came out, I loved that track, and so I bought the album, loved the album, and I actually saw him perform when he toured that album. He played Birmingham in England, and I went to see him at the Academy in Birmingham. And track one is a track called Confrontation, which I have always thought and said, if anyone has ever asked me, that is the track I would use. That is the track I would come out with. It's got this like opening kind of talking part with like drums in the background, right? And it builds and it builds and it builds. And then Damian Marley goes, boom, and then he's off into his like rapping, and he's got this great vibe to it, and it's just like, I can imagine like the drums kind of heralding the arrival of someone, and then boom, into the rap, and then it just changes pace. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. And they've gone and used it, haven't they? It's the music that Goldberg comes out to in the WWE 2K17 advert. The second I saw the advert, you know, where like all the police cars go to the cave and then they blow up the cave and Goldberg's there and you can hear that music, that dun. Well, I won't do it, I won't sing it. But that is the music that for years I've said that would be my entrance music, and then bloody 2K come in and steal it away from me. And your last question, create a wrestler, what would I do? Okay, I'd have Shawn Michaels' head. Yeah, I think he's got one of the smartest brains for wrestling and planning of matches that I've ever seen. Bulldog's body, I thought he was jacked. Yeah, I thought he was absolutely pumped. You could go with Cena as well. Cena's got a great physique. But I'll keep it loyal and I'll keep it British Bulldog. Hans, I think one of the best strikers in the game, as they say, is The Undertaker. You know, big punching in the corner. He's got long arms as well, you know, delivering tombstones and choke slams. And so I'd go with Undertaker's hands. And a weird one, Kota Ibushi. Kota Ibushi has blown my mind this year. I'm fairly sure that when I do like my top 5 wrestlers, my high 5 wrestlers of the year, I think Kota Ibushi is going to feature. He impressed me immensely in the CWC, and his strikes, his kicks. He did one on NXT. I can't remember when exactly it was. It was about a month or so ago now, but he did a kick on NXT that I swear is the best strike I have ever seen. The sound, it was like someone had just fired a gun. So yeah, and then I was thinking about a name, and I'd want something quite mythology, you know, like Balor. Yeah, and so I came up with, I had a look, I googled mythology, and I came up with Kumina, something along those lines, you know, like Kumina the Dark Lord Kumina, or something along those lines. That kind of mythology. I would, if I was to have ever been a wrestler, I like to think that I'm quite a bubbly person in real life, so I would, for my character, I would go completely the opposite, and I would go very dark, very dark, very like, you know, the Demon King, very like Balor, very quiet, very just facial expressions doing the talking. And so, yeah, I think I'd go something along those lines. Awesome questions, dude. Absolutely loved the video and loved answering them. Okay, I think we're running out of time. We'll do one more. Fear not, we will do more of these. This is going to be an ongoing series. I absolutely love doing them. So if you've done a video, it won't go to waste. I am going to go through them all and keep picking them out. And we'll do another one later this week.
Wrestling Days, I have 3 questions for you. The first question is, where do you see yourself on YouTube in 5 years? The next question is, what is your favorite wrestling moment of all time? And number 3, what would you change about the wrestling industry right now? So I'm really hoping to get on your channel. I really like your channel. So yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys later.
So we're ending on a high there with a video from Playmaker Tyus. Brilliant video, mate. Brilliant questions. Really tough as well. Let's go through them. Number 1, where do I see the channel in 5 years' time? The channel has already exceeded my expectations. So I don't know. I don't know. I expect it to be bigger and better. I think if you watch the early videos compared to the videos that are getting done now, hopefully you will see an improvement. You'll see, you know, that there's more variety with videos. There is potential to grow. I have no ideas what numbers the channel can do. I'm not really focused on that. I'm just focused on trying to make good videos every single day, because I think that's what you guys deserve and I enjoy doing it. So where do I see it in 5 years' time? Hopefully bigger and better. So your second point, what is my favourite moment of all time? This is impossible to answer because it constantly changes, but I will have to go with Bob Backlund against the Iron Sheik. And the reason that I've gone with that is because for me this is the match that changed everything. Bob Backlund doesn't give up. At this point he is the 2nd longest reigning champion ever, and he doesn't give up. He doesn't get pinned, and what happens is his manager, because I think Bob's in a submission hold and he won't give up, his manager throws the towel in. Literally, and the match is ended. Bob loses the title. But he never gave up, and the Iron Sheik wins it. Iron Sheik was loathed, was hated, one of the most hated superstars of all time, because he was from Iraq, and it was, you know, the height of the troubles between America and Iraq, so who steps in to take the title off him? None other than Hulk Hogan, and that is the start of Hulkamania. That whole sequence of Bob losing the title and then Hogan beating the Iron Sheik is what launched Hulkamania, and Hulkamania changed everything. Hulkamania coincided with WrestleMania, and the whole birth of that coincided with you know, Vince kind of taking all the talent out of the territories that had started in the 70s but continued in the 80s, and kind of, you know, you fast forward through the 80s and the territories are starting to kind of close down, and so this is WWE becoming the superpower that it is now. You know, back in the 70s and whatnot, there's loads of different territories, loads of different wrestling federations all over the United States, and they all had their own stars. WWE came along and just started taking those stars, and it just started growing and taking over the US, and now it's obviously, you know, a worldwide global brand. It's a mega power. It's a, you know, massive franchise. But yeah, that for me all started with that Bob Backlund Iron Sheik match. But I could sit here and talk about Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker and the Streak, Rock and Ronda Rousey, AJ Styles making his debut, Shane McMahon coming back. How do you pin it down to one? What's yours? Tell me in the comments below. And the third question, if I could change one thing about the industry, what would it be? I would have the wrestlers compete less on TV. I wouldn't want to pin it down to say once a month or anything along those lines, but I just think they're overexposed. and I still think they're overexposed. I think it's important that you see them less. Now, that might sound rubbish, because of course when you watch Raw you want to see Kevin Owens every week. Of course you do. But I promise you it will mean more, and it will be more special if you didn't see him every week. And also it gives other people a chance to shine. I mean, look at boxers. People love boxers and MMA fighters. People love Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey and all these megastars. Yet they only fight like, what, twice a year? 3 times a year? But yet you've got Kevin Owens that's going out doing it, what, 250 times a year? 300 times a year? I don't even know. Yeah, I would have them fight less. Not at house shows. I think that if you pay your money to go and see them, there's no cameras around and it's not going to interfere with anything, then yeah, you should be able to see all the superstars. But I think on Raw, on SmackDown, I would limit how much they're exposed. The other thing as well I'd be interested in doing is if you win, you get some points, and if you lose, you don't. And maybe have a constant running like league table. And then maybe it could be that if you get, to a certain point, then you become eligible for entry into Elimination Chamber or entry into the Royal Rumble, or you become a #1 contender or something along those lines. Every match needs to count. And I have seen a change in that recently, but I think there's more that they could do. I think they need to explore that side of the business, because for me, consistently, Raw has been flat. It's had its good weeks, and it's entertaining enough, but it can be so much better. So much better. So yeah, that's something that I would just tweak. Awesome, guys. Look, we need to call it quits there. Don't worry if your video hasn't been included. As I said, I am going to do more of these. I absolutely love doing these. These are amongst my favourite videos to do. So fear not. If you want your video to be looked at for the next one, then drop a link or tell me that you've uploaded a video below in the comments, and then I can click on that and go to the video or try and find the video, and we'll keep it nice and simple that way. Awesome, guys. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.